do believe I am live on Facebook. Hello, this was entirely unplanned. Um, I was doing a podcast, recording a podcast, and I was like, well, I'm set up, I'm dressed up, may as well go live. And so what I thought I would do would be to offer a live energy healing. And forgive me for one moment because so when you go live, you have to, when you want to start reading the comments, that live energy healing. There we go. I wanted to, see the comments so that I can respond to you, and I also need to share this out. So bear with me as I multitask because I'd like to get viewers starting and kind of viewers coming on before I actually start the healing so that as few people as possible will miss anything. My hope is that nobody will miss anything. So I'm going to share this out. So please forgive me as I'm looking at my phone to do that. But anyway, I just wanted to say hi, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday. It's weird knowing the polar vortex that we're going to be getting in the next couple of days, seeing sunlight and like stuff melting. It's like, wait, what? It's just it's very weird. Um, but it's gorgeous, so I'm gonna take this before we freeze like crazy. And if we end up with a snow day on Monday, I will not say no to that. That's my hope, because I've got a ton more stuff to do this weekend, like chores and stuff for my business and things like that that I haven't gotten to yet. And I would just love a little more time to myself. Oh, see, I can't talk and spell at the same time. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now I have to go to, sorry, I have to switch profiles. Um, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. Okay, I think I have this where I want it, but now I have to go back because I want to see all of your comments, because the best part for me is seeing all of your comments and interacting with you. That's my favorite part. So if you have any comments or if you have any questions, put them in the live chat. But otherwise, I'm really excited to get to the energy healing. So to kind of get up to that point, I just want to say, just kind of express what's been going on for me personally, and I want you to tell me if you feel like that's what you're going through as I'm waiting for people to kind of jump on here. Is that I feel like we are going through like a pressure cooker. I don't know. It almost feels like we're being how should I say this? Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Like a pressure cooker, but the pressure is still building. And then we'll get to a point where we're going to be tested. Are you going to take the bait? Are you going to emotionally respond? Are you going to get really mad, really upset, really frustrated? Or are you going to, get yourself out of center? That's a good way of putting it. Are you going to respond either hyper positively or hyper negatively by any of the things that are coming up, whether it's the inauguration or whether it's disclosure or everything that's happening? It's really, I think, a test about how heart-centered and balanced we can stay, which makes sense considering the general idea is that if they can get us in our fear, if they can get us out of our heart space, then we're much more easily influenced, right? If they can get us operating from a place of fear or a place of blind faith and blind support, really get us separated, right? That's how we separate from each other, is we either feel a whole lot of, good things about a particular person, a particular thing, a particular event, to the point that it's unwavering, and there's no, to the degree of attachment and to the degree of not being able to see things from a grounded, realistic, objective perspective. So like, how you can kind of see see someone and recognize their flaws, but still go, I really like that person, support that person. I don't agree with them on these things, and I feel like they have these types of character flaws, but all in all, I like that person, right? That's a balanced, grounded view. They want us to not be grounded. It's either all hatred or all love. And that's, not that's not a very balanced way to approach things, right? And so if we can stay balanced, then we can not take any of that bait. And, you know, I guess just, sorry, I'm still trying to share to group so that more people can see it. But, when we don't take the bait, it allows us to be at peace no matter what storm is going on in the world around us, and find our own inner peace. And, the only way to do that is to operate from a place of non-attachment, where you're not attached to outcome, you're not attached to a person, a place, a thing, any of those things. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. All right, found it. When we can operate from that level of non-attachment, we can really stay centered. And so it's really important that as this year moves forward and all of the weirdness will ensue, all of the chaos that is going to ensue, that we really try to get out of that, um, gosh, extremism. Ooh, yeah. So either being, extremely, oh my God, I love this person, I love this thing, or extremely, oh my God, I hate this person, I hate this thing, blah, blah, blah. Because that's where we divide ourselves, right? When we really make it one extreme or another. If we operate too much out of our upper chakras or too much out of our lower chakras, or, just really the middle way, the middle path, right? Being very centered, very grounded in our hearts. That's really going to get us through this year. And, one of the things that I've experienced, and I don't know if this is anything you've experienced, but one of the things I experienced last year was an ending of a really close friendship. And it was something that I'd wanted for a few years, but I was afraid to do it because she was the only, after my parents passed, my only consistent support system. And I was terrified to not feel like I had a support system. And so I wouldn't end the friendship no matter how miserable I was. And as I was becoming more and more miserable, in order to protect myself, I became very guarded, and I had to put up like this protective guard. And I went into a state of freeze. So you know how there's like fight, flight, and freeze, but you only mostly hear about fight or flight. Freeze is oftentimes left off. I came to the realization of how much my guard went up in order to try to protect myself, and to the degree to which I went into a state of freeze. Like, if I don't move, maybe I won't do anything wrong to upset this person, because it seems like no matter how well intended I am, it ends up being the wrong thing. And I've had to work a lot on learning techniques that would calm the amygdala, right? Because the amygdala is the part of the brain that remembers the trauma and remembers the wounding, and will think it's still in that state, right? Will think that you're still in a position where you need to be in a state of fight or flight or freeze. And so I've been learning techniques to calm the amygdala, like rocking either side to side, or front to back, depending on what you prefer. Or if I'm standing, I find that I'll either kind of shift my weight from foot to foot, or my hips will kind of do this figure eight thing. So it's almost like and twisting, you can kind of twist yourself. But my hips will do this figure eight thing where it's like a cross between a twist and a sway. I don't know. It just, my body just does it, and it feels very comforting, sort of like when your mom would like hold you and rock you. It's that stimulates the vestibular system, which then talks to the limbic system, which is where the amygdala is, and says, it's okay, you're safe, you're calm. And pairing that with smiling, because smiling talks to the mirror neurons and tells the mirror neurons, it's safe, you're secure, it's okay, you're all right. And then combining that with visualization, right? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and like what's going on outside and what's going on in your mind. So if you visualize yourself as your healed aspect and your guard is down and your shoulders are down and back, so your chest is open and you're smiling and you've got that sway or that twist or whatever it is. You can add that to your meditation, but doing that at least once a day, like in the morning, to kind of set the tone. And while you're visualizing yourself as this healed aspect, that's when you can go through like your gratitude list, right? Like, I'm so grateful for today, and I'm excited for whatever opportunities and situations and experiences that might come my way that are all, excuse me, always blessings for me and always for my highest and best good, even if they're non-preferred. It's a really great way to start the day, but it's also a really great way to kind of go, oh, I can relax and I don't have to be like on guard, right? Because I was very on guard all the time, and I'm still working through it. It's definitely not gone, but that's something that came to my awareness. And then also that freeze looks like, and I don't know why this didn't occur to me, but this freeze can manifest as procrastination. I watched a video on it and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. I would never have guessed that procrastination is a form of freeze. And I've been really kind of kicking my own rear end and feeling a lot of self-shame for just not feeling inspired and like I would want to do things for my business and make posts and do all these things, but I was really good at procrastinating. And when I saw that video, my jaw dropped and I realized, oh my God, that I'm still operating from that state of freeze and it's manifesting as procrastination. And so that helped me release so much self-induced shame and stopped me from self-ass kicking with regard to that. So anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on with me. And I don't know if any of this rings true for you. But if it does, I hope that has helped you feel less alone and more like you understand your situation and you're better able to kind of bounce back from all of that. So, all right. Anyway, okay, just checking the chat. Okay, here we go. All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to, well, I'm going to call in all of our guides and angels and everybody and kind of set the intention, but you have the option if you would like, and if you're in a position to do so, like don't do this if you were like driving or something like that. But if you are in a position to close your eyes and take a deep breath and join in this intention setting with me, feel free to do so, and then just set the intention that you will allow yourself to receive this. And there will be a point at which you will say yes to receiving it. So just say either in your mind or out loud, do you agree to this healing? And just say yes, like I said, in your mind's eye, or in your mind or out loud. And that just creates a greater receptivity for the energy healing. Hopefully I won't whack my microphone well, because my hands will move while I do the energy healing, and I just don't want to, whack that. It's like right there. Anyway, so if you are like washing your dishes or folding laundry or whatever, if you still set the intention that you're going to receive it, you'll still receive it even though you're washing your dishes or folding laundry. So don't worry about that. Hey, Patty, I see you watching just in time. That's good. I was just about to start, so good timing. All right, so you might want to go back and watch the beginning. I've been kind of waiting for people to jump on. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to first, like I said, start by setting the intention and calling in all of our guides, and then I'm just going to, so my guides work through my physical body. So I channel the Ascended Master Kuan Yin. Do I have her here? No, dang. Oh, actually I do. That's not true. Actually, I have them both here. Okay, this is one rendering of Kuan Yin. She is the, oh, talk about bouncing my microwave, or my microphone. She is the ascended master of, or goddess of compassion and mercy, in the, not Hindu, but Buddhist tradition. She is in Hinduism as Avalokiteshvara, who's a male god of compassion and mercy. And then I also channel, wrong way, a seraph angel who looks like that, only made of diamond sparkly rainbow light. um, his name is Ian. He gave, angels don't have names. And so he gave, oh, thank you, Patty. I see you now. He gave himself that name for me. So angels name themselves for our sake, but they don't actually have names. They have frequencies by which they are identified. And so Ian named himself Ian as a nod to my Scottish heritage, but Ian is Scottish for John. It's Gaelic for John, Gaelic, I should say, for John, and it means gift from God. And I thought that was very beautiful. And so he's very masculine and feels like electricity. She's very feminine and feels like warm water. And they both come in through the back of my heart chakra and come through my body to send their respective energies through me. And they work in tandem. So one is typically more forward than the other. I'm hoping to keep my hands high enough. I might have to tilt this down a little bit because Kuan Yin, when she comes through, she uses a lot of mudras, things like this. When Ian is more forward, it's the sign of benediction. He does a lot of this. It's a very masculine hand movement. And I'll try to get, or I'll try to be mindful of saying what I'm getting. Sometimes I do get messages for people, not always, but sometimes I do. But I'll try to also explain what we're working on. And so since this is probably going to be viewed by multiple people, bear in mind that something may not resonate with you. And also bear in mind that something that I'm getting may resonate with multiple people at once. And just kind of take what feels right to you and leave the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, and that's how I pull my guides more closely and into my energetic field. And then I'm going to start, okay? We call in all of our divine aspects, our spiritual entourages, and all high vibrational beings of love and light from all realms, dimensions, and star systems. And we ask and intend that all those watching heal and release all things that no longer serve their highest and best good. We ask this be done in all ways, on all levels, throughout all directions of time and space, and throughout all lifetimes, including their Akashic records. And we ask and intend that these energies be replaced by their positive opposites and those energies that do serve their highest and best good. We ask that this be done in all ways, on all levels, throughout all directions of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, and that their Akashic records reflect these changes. Do you accept this healing? And at this time, you can either say out loud or in your mind, yes. And then we'll begin. Okay, so that's when they tone, that's the throat chakra. And so there's someone who needs their throat, or multiple people who need their throat chakra opened. So there is energy. There is energy in the backside of the chakra, which means there is a situation or a circumstance or multiple situations or circumstances where you have not felt that you could speak your truth or express your thoughts, feelings, beliefs. You either felt uncomfortable doing it and you didn't feel like you were free to do it, or when you did do it, it's like it fell on deaf ears. But you're going through something right now that is reflecting that, and so there's something that you need. There's either something that you need to express, but you're not expressing, you're keeping it to yourself, or you're expressing it, but it's falling on deaf ears. And so you need to let go of needing this person to hear you and just let them do what they're going to do. So hopefully this makes sense. Even if it does, put it in the comments or put a heart or whatever. Now we're opening up the throat. If you feel inclined to yawn or give a big sigh, if you feel like the throat is pertaining to you, do that, and it will help open things up. Don't forget to breathe. This is weird doing this sitting down. I usually do all this stuff standing up. Oh, okay, so this is the heart, and they are opening and expanding the heart. I just felt like I'm getting a hot flash in my heart, and they are opening and expanding it. Push my mic back just a little bit. There we go. So when the heart is being opened and expanded, this pertain relates to two different things. One, it relates to the fact that whatever it is, when this is related to throat chakra as well, whatever it is you're going through right now, it is an opportunity for you to open your heart, um, mostly to yourself, meaning this is an opportunity for self-healing so that you can feel less like you need to protect yourself because you can be in a better state of self-alignment, self-confidence, that you can open your heart up and feel less like you have to protect yourself. It's also sort of like it's part and parcel the same thing. So the opportunity to open your heart, that the upgrade. So whatever healing you're going to go through, um, you know, finding the courage to say whatever it is you need to say, or you're going through, by working yourself through that and overcoming whatever it is going to provide for you the upgrade and the heart opening. I hope that makes sense. So if it does, started coughing right away when you started. Oh, maybe it's you we're working on. I don't know, but thank you, Patty, for that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Oh no, they're still not done with the heart. Hold on. Yeah, that's connected to the throat. There is a lot of density on the back of the heart that they're clearing out as well, which means that you would have experienced in the past. Now, again, these can compound, so it could be more than one thing. So heartache, heartbreak, or grief, or something to that effect, that is still impacting your heart. Should do this standing up. I've never done that before on video. That's how I do all my healings, is standing up. Okay. There we go. I feel like my chest can open up more now. And like I can take more air. So if you feel that, you might feel inclined to take a deep breath and to really stretch out this chest area and like draw your shoulders down and back. Okay, there we go. Grief. Okay, thank you, Patty. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback in the comments. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're working on the solar plexus. And again, this relates to the throat. So there's something that's not being expressed. Maybe it's grief, maybe I don't know, but there's something that's not being expressed. But in the solar plexus is our place of personal power and personal authority and our level of confidence and our freedom to feel like our authentic selves and be ourselves and express ourselves, right? But what I'm picking up on is in the backside, there is a lot of density from experiences or from a singular experience of not feeling either, not feeling like you could express your own personal power and authority, meaning you were feeling controlled by someone, or there was something that happened over which you had no control. So this could be the death of someone. It could be an illness. It could be someone else's illness, a car accident. There are numerous things that this could be. So again, things compound. So if any of those relate to you, whoever's watching, just kind of acknowledge that and allow yourself to choose to let that density go. Okay, but now so when they do this, they're putting my hands in that position. So that means that there's now something going on that is triggering this chakra. So that would mean either something that you are currently not in control over and you don't like that you're not in control over it, or a situation over which you are feeling controlled and constricted. Again, this relates to the throat. And they're still trying to pull my shoulders down and back. So there's a heart opening happening. So oh gosh, they're really tightening my muscles in the front here, which means you might even feel this physically. So when they flex my muscles, it means that it's physicalized, meaning it would be like stomach upset, acid reflux, because this is a solar plexus, so it would be typically stomach oriented. It can also be the mid, like thoracic back area. So if you have like tension there, it can be that. So if you're experiencing any of those things, it's like, how should I say this? It's this wounding that has become physicalized. All right, they're messing with my posture because of the energy shifting. Oh, there we go. Oh, they're having me breathe into my diaphragm, and they're having me put my hand on my diaphragm, which is the solar plexus. So again, you might feel inclined to take a deep breath down into your diaphragm, and really energize the solar plexus. Whew. Oof. Okay, this is the sacral chakra, which is our emotional seat and our seat of creativity. And I'm feeling a lot of density on the back side, but again, something is going on right now. So I also feel this physical, so like low back pain, low back tension. But this is these what I'm processing feels like, or what I'm clearing off feels like emotions that have gone unprocessed. So this could be grief that you didn't allow yourself to feel. This could be anger that you didn't allow yourself to express, but it's some emotion that is still sitting in your energetic field, creating density there. But, well, and not but, and you are being emotionally, I don't want to say triggered, stimulated. There is something that is causing you to feel a lot of emotions right now. Whether it feels, I'm not getting an indication that's connected to the throat, but it's probably connected to the throat. Sorry, I'm trying to connect to what that how you would feel that, besides just you're feeling a lot of emotions right now. Okay, so they just shifted my body in such a way that it shows me that it's connected to the solar plexus. So whether it's frustration over the thing that you're not feeling in control over, or the frustration over not feeling control, that you're feeling controlled and unable to kind of have your own personal autonomy. I don't know what I'm spot on with, but thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. But this is the picture that is being painted for me right now, and we're not even done yet, is that, how do I put this in English? Okay, is that this expressing yourself, this communicating, and this processing of emotions, is where you're going, like kind of having that sense of, Patty, if you could specify for me what I'm spot on with, so that I can be more clear in what I'm expressing, that would be really helpful. Thank you. I really appreciate you putting the comments. It helps a lot. I keep looking at the chat, so like I'm looking at you, like that's where you are, is in the chat. um, but it's like this thing that's got you like emotional, and the thing that is engaging your solar plexus, where you either don't feel like you're in control, or you feel like someone is controlling you. And then there's the communication aspect, all of it. Okay. Okay. Then in order for you to have a sense of control over the situation and over yourself, you have to say whatever it is you need to say. You have to communicate whatever it is you have to communicate. And without being on the phone with you, Patty, I don't know what that is, but hopefully you know what that is. And that's, in doing that, is going to be an act of self-love and will help you to uh, overcome a lot of the, how shall I say? Okay, it will help you to move past, is how they want me to put it. It will help you to move past this sense of kind of perpetually feeling this way, like feeling not in control, feeling, um, oh, mm, they just put the words wallflower. My sister passed a year ago yesterday. I'm feeling not in control. Okay. Um, so that is extremely helpful. Okay, so what is it about your sister passing that you need to express, right? Your grief. So finding time to, this is going to sound weird, but I had to do this from both of my parents. I keep looking at the chat like that's where you are. Don't look at the chat, look at the camera. um, I had to trigger myself. So like the holidays, you need to speak your truth. Damn straight you do. So like the holidays were a great time for me to put on songs that would make me cry, go through the tree decorating process by myself, which would make me cry. Um, find ways to trigger yourself, which sounds, again, sounds nuts, but if you can trigger the emotional release of the grief and just have, and it doesn't even have to be limited to one, but let yourself have a good ugly cry, right? And say whatever. Hey Carrie, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Say whatever it is out loud you want or need to say. That will really help. You can write it down first if that will help you collect your thoughts and then speak it. Um, but it definitely needs to be expressed. If there is someone in particular that you need to express something to that is not your sister, do that. It might be helpful to, again, write that down first to kind of collect your thoughts and what do you want to say and how do you want to say it. But obviously your truth needs to be spoken. It needs to be said. Okay. Patty, let me know if that makes any sense or if you have any questions or if you need to clarify something for me. But obviously, like you know, if you're experiencing grief, that the passing of someone is something you can't control. And it does take, like the first year is the most difficult after a passing. It is, you go through all of the firsts, you know, their first birthday without them being here, Christmas without them, your first Thanksgiving without them, all of those firsts, right? And they're hard, not but, and they are opportunities to release grief. And I'll tell you right now, and I'm sure you already know this, grief never goes away. It changes form, and you're always going to have a moment where you're going to lose it, and that's okay. That's grief. But where you want to step away from is the feeling of why anger and frustration. If you're still in a state of anger and frustration and even resentment towards the universe for this or for what has happened, yes, it really makes sense why it did affect me so much. Okay, thank you, Patty. I really appreciate the feedback. If you're still in that state, that would need to be moved on from, right? Because that's not serving you. That's unhealthful grief. That's keeping you in an emotional state that serve you, and you don't deserve that. Now, if that's not where you are, if you're not feeling those things, great. Still allow for yourself to have that grief. And with regard to the control, I don't know if this would be helpful, but it's helpful for me is having the knowing and understanding that anytime someone passes, they always when and how agreed to pass before they incarnated. So meaning before they incarnated, they chose the manner in which they were going to pass and when they were going to typically understand it. People, typically choose to out and that way, like if they choose not to pass at the first out date, then they'll live longer and then they'll choose at the final out date. But if, their higher self is really feeling like it's the incarnational aspect is not getting out of it what they would what they were intending to get out of it, and they were really getting off track, they can leave at the first out date and then reincarnate. So my point in that is that yes, you had no control, but it wasn't something for you to try to stop. It wasn't something for you to try to control. Even that was in divine order. As much as it sucked, uh, it was still in divine order. And okay, what they were saying is if you can find peace with just the idea that your sister transitioning is in divine order, and you did not need to control it or stop it. um Sorry, just a moment. I had to ban someone, sorry about that. Bound to happen anyway. um Okay, so if you can get to a place where you find peace with the understanding that it was all in divine order, and a part of her soul path, that may help you get to a point where you can let go of the not having been in control of that, right? And then it just becomes you processing the grief still, which is, like I said, it's just a process, and it takes a long time. And um, again, triggering yourself and letting yourself have a really great ugly cry is truly, truly the best way. Okay, I'm going to move on because we still have some areas to go through. It says, yes, I totally get that it was all divine timing. Oh, okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, I'm going to move on because we still have some areas to work on. Okay, so we're down the root chakra now, just so we're all together and we know where I am. We're on the root chakra. And the way they indicate to me what your core wounds are is through who was the predominant person that in incited, induced, caused, inflicted, that's what I'm looking for. The person that inflicted the childhood wounding and the childhood programming. And they do that. I don't get a name, I don't get a face. They give me a gender. So that would indicate usually a family member. So mother, father, brother, sister, something like that. And so what I'm getting is that this person was a female. And so, like I said, this could be mother, grandmother, sister, whatever, but they would have been the one to have inflicted the greatest degree of childhood wounding and trauma, that is still being worked through and operated from today. So let me know if that resonates with any of you in the comments in the chat. So what they're doing is they're sending your energy down into the core of Mother Earth, and they're grounding it there. And they're drawing that Mother Earth energy up through your root chakra. And they're anchoring it in the heart. And what that does is, so in childhood, when we go through our childhood wounding and programming, we usually come away from that wounding with a sense of not feeling safe, secure, and supported emotionally. Because, how do I want to put this? Even if you were, like, for instance, for me, I was in an incubator for 6 weeks. And so I didn't get that close physical connection with my mom the way I could have if I was born at the typical time at a healthful, healthy weight. And so I missed out on a lot of that. And I think that that impacts me. But children receive, no, I'm not saying it right. Okay, children interpret love through not the heart, but through the root chakra, and through being given that sense of safety, security, and support. Okay. And so if we don't get that physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally, um, that's where we get a lot of our wounding and trauma. So whoever this is for you, I'm getting a female. And how do I want to say this? Ah, um, the wounding from this person that is a part of what has impacted the throat chakra, if that makes sense. Yep, okay. Okay, just checking the chat still. Oh, so back to the root. When I pull up that Mother Earth energy, it's like connecting you with the divine mother as opposed to so like a divine parent instead of a physical parent, to ground yourself and connect yourself to that sense of safety, security, and support that the earth provides. Okay, so they're working on the crown chakra. Oh, I feel like I just got high. So the crown chakra is not closed. When it no chakra is ever closed, you'd be dead. But I mean, it's not it's not small, it's not reduced. But it needs to be cranked up. And so what they're doing is they're opening that up more so that you can feel more connected to source. So it's like one now that you're grounded below, now let's connect you to above. Okay. This is your third eye. And there is density there. And the first thing they did was scrunch up my eyebrows. And that to me means that you might be experiencing headaches and that they may be predominantly like here. So not here, not necessarily here or at the base of the skull, but like right here. And you may find yourself overthinking things. So, like, instead of like, I wonder if blah, 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 maybe da, 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 da. I don't know. And then kind of giving it to source to kind of work through. It's more like playing things out in your mind over and over again, worrying, um, uh, trying to solve a problem yourself by thinking your way through it instead of saying, well, I've got this issue. I'm not quite sure how to solve it, but I know that I'll be divinely guided to the resolution. I'm just going to let it come to me, and I like letting it come, right? So instead of using letting intuitive guidance come to you, it's like you're trying to think your way through the situation. So you might experience a lot of that as well as uh, tension here, but that's what I'm picking up on. Okay, so I just saw, ooh, I don't know what. I just saw a Native American male. I do not know what tribe or nation this would be, but like red and yellow paint across the face. And I don't know, I could guess Apache, but I hate guessing because I could be guessing wrong. Um, uh, it's either hair or porcupine quills, or there's something that's in the hair that's up like this, on the back of the head. I don't think it's hair. I think it's like porcupine quills or something splayed here. And this man looks like a warrior type being, um, and wearing either hunting paint or war paint on the face, like I said, the red and then the yellow. And so I would take this to be either, well, actually, it's kind of both, isn't it? An aspect of you in another lifetime, or one of your spirit guides. So if that resonates with you, if that's someone that's either familiar to you, or if it's a guide that you're aware of, or a previous life that you're aware of, take that into consideration. But that's what I saw. Somehow it's connected to the third eye. Don't know why, but there you go. Okay, so we've done all the chakras. So now we're going to draw down Heavenly Father energy, anchor it in the heart, and then go down and bring up Mother Earth energy and anchor it in the heart. And we're going to use this infinity symbol to continue to ground and center you. So you're grounded in Mother Earth and centered in the Heavenly Father. While they're both anchored in the heart, this balances your energies, masculine and feminine. But this also puts the healing on autopilot. And so the energy is going to continue to move through you for as long as it's for your highest and best good. I'm seeing a blue light, not throat chakra, but like third eye. So they're still working on your third eye. They ask and attend that they be infused the highest level of holy healing divine white light in whatever ways are for their highest and best good, that they receive whatever healing, guidance, and support is for their highest and best good. And we ask and intend that they allow themselves to receive and be receptive to whatever healing, guidance, and support is for their highest and best good. And now we are sealing and grounding the auric field. I'm disconnecting my energies. Whew. All right. Wow. Okay. All right, Patty, I don't know. This felt like it might have been primarily for you. But there may be people who watch in the future who find that this also resonates with them, because we have to bear in mind that energy healing, well, time and space don't exist. So nothing is bound by time and space. And so if you watch this days, weeks, months, years from now, you can still receive benefit from this, and you still may find that it relates to you. And if you're watching it, somehow, some way, you were meant to watch it and meant to receive it. Even if it doesn't all resonate with you, there was a reason for you to see this. I also want to bear in mind that what this does is it gets your energetic ball rolling. So you may not experience permanent changes from this. You may. If you allow for that, it can cause permanent, or I shouldn't say cause, it can not influence, it can facilitate. That's what I'm looking for. I don't have words today. It's probably because I've been doing energy stuff well before I even got on live, because I was doing that podcast. But it will facilitate energy, right? And so if you choose to do your own inner work, that will further facilitate that energetic movement, and you will experience healing. If you need help with that inner work and what it is you would need to what action steps you can take in order to reprogram that subconscious mind, or if you want affirmations, if you want help with visualizing what that would look like, if you want help, that's what I'm here for. The native sounded like one of my guides. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. I'm glad you thought so, Patty. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that you found it powerful and helpful. I also want to iterate that no healer will do all of your healing for you. So like I was saying, this just sort of gets the ball rolling and facilitates the opportunity for it. And so I don't want viewers to see this and think that they can just, go hands-free and be like, I'm going to give you all of the power to heal, to do all of my work for me. That's just not what we're here for. I wasn't sure, came in late, so I wasn't sure if you were was talking to Patty. I was only because she was the only one watching at the time, Carrie. Is Pammy? Sorry, Patty. So there could be some that I was working on too. I don't know. So what? Yeah, watch it from the beginning, see if any of it resonates. But all I know is when I got to the third eye, that's when he showed up. So if that makes sense to you, um, if the third eye specifically makes sense with regard to that guide, that very well could be for you. I have no idea. I just get what I get. But yeah, I just want to say for the viewers, you cannot give your power away to a healer and have them do all of your work for you. They will get the ball rolling, they will facilitate the opportunity, but you ultimately have to do your own inner work. A good healer will help you know how to do the inner work, because if you're like, I'd love to do my own inner work, but if I don't know how to do it, how the frick am I supposed to, reprogram myself? A good healer will teach you how to do that and will empower you instead of making you feel like you have to keep going back to that person to get healings because you're not healed yet, because they're not teaching you how to heal yourself and how to make the shifts that cause the energetic blockages to begin with. So that's how you know a good healer from someone who just wants to keep taking your money. A good healer will empower you. All right, so I think that's it for me. I have no idea how long I've been live. I don't know, but this has been really fun. Next time I will schedule it, but like I said, I was filming a podcast and I had all of this set up and I had me set up. I'm like, why not? So that's why there was no heads up about this, but there we go. All right, so if you've missed this, please watch it from the beginning. Don't forget to comment and emoji and stuff like that. For other viewers, if you don't follow me, I encourage you to follow me. I may put this on YouTube as well. I will probably put this on YouTube. Will I? Can I? I forgot to hit record. I don't know. I'll see if I can get it from Facebook. Anyway, I just realized I forgot to hit record. Anyway, maybe I won't be putting it on YouTube. But regardless, next time I will record it and I will put it on YouTube and I will also schedule it. So, so not only will I be doing things with Bonnie, but Bonnie and I are also going, my friend Bonnie Bird, who's also an amazing healer in her own right. Oh, that was weird. I put my hand up in my little, Zoom is interesting. Anyway, she's an amazing healer and I love her dearly. She's one of my soul sisters, but she and I were planning on coming on live, not only to just talk with each other, but also to get you in the chat, because our favorite part is not just talking with each other, but it's getting you guys as a part of the conversation in the chat. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be having guests on so that we can interview them and get to know them and promote them, so that it isn't all just about us promoting ourselves, because though we want to reach a wider audience and be able to heal a broader range of people, we also want to give back to the community and help other people who need their message and their service to others out there. So that's the plan. I think that's it. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Patty. And thank you to all of you who've not watched this yet, or I guess who are watching it now but aren't watching when it was recorded. Thank you so much for God, I need to go eat something. I haven't eaten anything today. Thank you so much for your love and support, and I'll talk with you soon. All right, bye.